What girl? Boo Cat wants to be in the video today. Maybe eventually. She's getting complicated now. Today I was thinking about. Jeez. What girl? Come here. Come here. Oh my gosh. She wants to be picked up, and as soon as you try to pick her up, she runs off. um, so, today's topic that I was thinking about that narcissism. Oh my gosh! Finally, say hi, Boo Cat. Hi, Boos. Um, can narcissistic abuse breed codependent behavior? Um, Absolutely. In my mind, there's absolutely no question about it. Before I was in a relationship with a narcissist, did I have some codependent tendencies? Somewhere on the spectrum? Yes, absolutely. Due to nurture, how I grew up. Um, but one of my saving graces in life is I've always been insanely stubborn. Um, So I never fell for much of it. You know what I mean? I got insanely stubborn on top of being very intuitive. So I could tell when someone was manipulating me, or I could tell when something was a little bit too much, or a boundary was being crossed. And before this, I did not have a problem saying no. Even when we first started dating, I didn't have a problem saying no. She'd want me to do certain things, and I would say, you know, no. You know, I'm tired. I don't want to go out tonight, or I can't do that, or some, etc., etc., etc. Um, but as the time wore on, um, I swear to God, I was trained to be more codependent. Absolutely, there's no question in my mind. Now, how was I trained to be more codependent? Was that if I wasn't um, I was punished. Easy as that. Give a couple examples. She'd be like, "Well, I want a key to your house," and I'd be like, "Well, it's a little bit early. Maybe too soon for that." Well, if you don't, I'm gonna leave you. And if I stuck to my guns and I was like, "No," then I was ghosted and stonewalled for a couple weeks. Which of course hurt. That hurt. You think you're getting along well with somebody, and then for 2 weeks you don't hear from them. Other examples including like she had this obsession with getting married that I did not understand. Uh, had the relationship been healthy, I would have had no problem getting married to her. But I always reiterated, as soon as we're healthy, we can get married. And it was just continuous stuff. If you don't marry me, I'm just going to go be with so and so. Or, well, if you don't go with me tonight, then I'll just find another man. Or, just the list was endless. It was endless, and it was always, always, always. If I didn't give in to what she wanted, there was punishment. Um, and that could go that could go into anything. That could be like the place that we ate for the day. If we didn't go where she wanted, then she'd cop an attitude and be a bitch the whole rest of the day. Or she didn't get her any single time she didn't get her way, I was punished. Now, like I said, I had codependent tendencies, but I don't think they were that severe, and until the narcissistic relationship. I mean, I wanted the relationship to work. really badly. I did care for this individual. I did love this individual at one point. It's just it wore me down. It wore me down over and 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 over until the point where I guess you kind of hit that tipping point, or I hit that tipping point where it was like I thought, I was wrong. I thought maybe just let her get her way. I'm a mature adult. I can handle myself. Yeah, just let her have her way. Let's avoid the argument, right? That was my initial thinking. Let's just avoid the argument. Yeah, sure, have your way. But then it's increased little by little and more 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 until it was just so absurd that you can't even rationalize any of it. I mean, I've been or have been by that individual, ghosted or stonewalled or discarded just simply for taking a nap. Uh, you know, and I legitimately fucking mean that. Like, lay down for a 2 hour nap, and because it's not what she wanted to talk while I was taking the nap, then I was punished for it. I've been left for other men because of simple things like that as well. One of the biggest first memories, I've mentioned it before, is I was like 30 minutes to an hour late to her house for Christmas one day, and I was immediately discarded and punished because I was 30 to 45 minutes late. Now, is that really because I was late that I was discarded? Of course not. It's because she didn't get her way. Anytime this individual did not get her way, there was hell to pay. There's just absolute hell to pay. Um, it's all. It's. I was trained. I mean, the codependency extent was trained for sure. There's just no way. Before this relationship, super independent. Was working on my own business. No problem. Sleeping at night. No problem. Finding dating partners. None of that. Like, I mean, just in a great um, powerful position in life. And I'm telling you that being with this girl just wore it away, and wore it away, and wore it away. Um, I was just a shell of myself after. She is crazy. Fame has got to her head. Um, just wore it away. I mean, and it wasn't who I was. It never has been who I was or were. It was totally like instilled in me, little by little, drop by drop, increase by increase. The codependency was put into me. Now, I'm not saying, run around and say the narcissist is the only problem, blah, blah, blah. Obviously I was susceptible to this behavior uh, to continue doing it. But if we want to ask the question, does narcissistic abuse increase codependency? In my mind, a thousandfold. Yeah, you're trying to make a relationship work, and every time you don't do what they want, there's serious punishment. You know, one of her like harem members, was constantly used against me. As leverage triangulation. Well, if you don't do it, I'm gonna go with him. If you don't do that, I'll just go do it with him. If you don't marry me, I'm gonna just go be with other guys. And it was constant like pressure and fear and walking on eggshells because nothing was ever okay. Anytime you did assert a boundary, you were slapped down and abused for it. It was never like okay, I understand you want to go out with your friends, have fun, babe. None of that. No, no. It's like, well, if you go out with your friends, I'm gonna go over and fuck him. Like, whoa, that's pretty crazy. But you're trying to make shit work, so you dealt with it, or you tried to, or you either fucking bowed down and did what they want, or indeed they went and did that, like sheerly out of spite. It seems like sheerly trying to like train you. This is some really messed up shit. But so I guess really at the end of all this, people that are wondering, hi, geez, I never felt like I was codependent, and now this codependent shit is just like all over the place. There's a fair possibility that it was instilled in you. You were taught to be it. I mean, think about it. Yeah, us that are codependent and we had childhood problems that made us that way, it was taught. Codependency was taught then, and it can be taught again. Old dogs can learn new tricks, you know. Um, and I'm not saying I'm some fucking saint that did nothing wrong or didn't have some kind of codependent attributes to begin with, but did it take it from like a level 1 to a level 5? Maybe even more. Maybe level 1 to like level 6? Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. No fucking doubt in my mind. The shit that she conditioned me to put up with is stuff that I would never, ever, 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 ever put up with in previous relationships or with anyone. There was one girl, this is another example, sorry for rambling, my ears ringing too, it's annoying. This one girl that I dated, she's super intelligent. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. Her body was literally perfect. There's no, perfect, perfect body. Sex, phenomenal. I mean, I'm talking this girl was really fucking outstanding that I dated shortly before the narcissist. And she was around for a little while, and then she got to the point where she started being really flirtatious with my friends. And at that point in time, I was strong enough and willing enough, and I was like, you know what, I'm sorry, I really don't agree with this, and this is not this kind of fucking behavior I'm going to accept. And she got pissed about it and ended up kicking her out of my house just because I was like, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to be with a fucking girl that flirts with my friends, right? That's at the point I was. I was at that point in my life where you crossed a boundary. Okay, maybe it was a little bit preemptive on my part, but you crossed a boundary. Now you got to go. Simple as that. Talking 2 years later into this relationship with a narcissist, and she's blatantly and openly cheating on me, and I'm sitting here letting it happen because I'm afraid of the hell that I'm going to have to pay. That wasn't part of me. That wasn't who I was. I was trained to do it. Uh, so, kind of rambling, but I mean, think about that. Think about before your narcissistic relationship, were you letting people just stomp all over your boundaries? Were you letting all that go on? I wasn't.